Here we
go. Timing starts on first movement. Give you a countdown. Yeah, I'm Kylovich, and with me here is M-Chan, the runner, the previous run.
Yep.
Commentating. Alright, good to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, good luck.
Thanks. Alright, we're starting off in 1-1. The one goal I have for this run is to not die in 1-1. I have this curse of dying in 1-1 in marathon runs a lot. Almost happened. Right. So, similar to New Luigi U, this game has a signature power-up, which I want to keep pretty much throughout the entire run. The propeller head allows me to skip 2 levels pretty much later on, so it saves a bunch of time if I keep it. It even saves me so much time that it's worth for me to go back to 1-1 and get another one if I lose it in like the next 2 levels. That's so much time to save. As far as basic techniques go, it's faster to slide down slopes. You me slide down a bunch of slopes. There are a few exceptions, but overall, it's faster to slide down. This one right here is the first exception already. It just works out to do double jump to the pipe. So in 1-2, you're not gonna see too much of the propeller. 1-3 is gonna have the first use of it. These platforms you see in this stage, I can actually turn them with my Wiimote. So if I turn my Wiimote to the right, the platforms will turn with it. So what I'm doing is I'm turning the platforms downward so that they create a slope. I can't slide down these with a star, unfortunately. It's just faster to run. But the last one I can slide down, so I can create myself a slope. So here in 1-3, I'm going to use the propeller for the secret exit to go to the cannon. Normally you're supposed to use Yoshi for that, but that... See if I can get the... So I was going to do a triple jump there, which was going to go just above the height of that hammer brother. So if you do that right, you're out of range for his hammers. He can never get hit. There's another one coming up right here. I'm also just jumping above the range where he could jump and throw a hammer.
This level also has Yoshi, which I don't think he's going to be using.
So there's the triple jump spin up there. Normally you're supposed to use Yoshi and then like jump off Yoshi or flutter up. But yeah, it's really slow to get Yoshi. Just as in Super Luigi U, Yoshi has to hatch out of an egg. All that. Thanks, Jake. So, funny side note, this cutscene right here with the toad is actually... It's random if you lose time in this cutscene. Off screen, you can't really see it. There's a large Goomba, which is moving around the over... After this cutscene, you can hear him move. And it's random how much he moves. So, you can like, don't move at all, I think, or just take a shit ton of movement. So you can lose like a second in that cutscene, just to sheer randomness. It's really good. That's what won. Unlike the previous run, this is just sheer any %, so you don't have to do all the castles. Luckily.
Yeah, World 5 is when the run starts to pick up. As far as difficulty.
Well, 5-1, it's nothing interesting. Yeah, we see the second star in the run here. I already picked up one in 1-2. Pretty self-explanatory. Star makes you go a lot faster, and you can just run through enemies. So it's always worth it to pick it up. Now I was running up that slope right there instead of jumping up, which would have been faster. But running up that Koopa shell actually manipulates the spinning item block to always yield a star. So I don't have to hope for it or anything. It's just a consistent way to get it. So right here I could do a riskier strat going up the piranhas, but I'm just not gonna do that. Because I'm not good at this game. That too. That's fine. I don't really mind going for slower, safer strats, as long as I keep the propeller pretty much. That's my only goal. So next up is the Piranha Plant stage, which is an encounter with the Piranha Plant. You have to collect all the little Toad balloons, and then Toad will give you 3. It's pretty difficult to get a 93 in-game time on this, which would match task time. I hope, hopefully I can get it. That'd be one cool thing to show off. But probably not. 92 is pretty much the standard.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's like no way to avoid this Piranha Plant, so you kind of have to fight it.
Yeah, the only way to avoid it is if you get a star and use it in the overworld. But going to the Star House in World 1 and picking up the star is way slower than actually doing this piranha encounter. And the 3 mushrooms actually are a pretty nice backup. Okay, so if you watch any good runners play this game, they would go to the bottom route here, to 5-3. It's about 5 seconds faster. But I'm just way too lazy to learn it, honestly. So I'll do 5-2
is a safer level anyway.
Yeah. 5-2 also shows this really, really stupid mechanic with these giant wigglers. The hitboxes are really, really stupid, so you can just bounce off these wigglers instantly and not take any damage. And you can just bounce between the wigglers and the ceiling a lot. And it makes the stage really, really easy. The only thing really is falling into the pink goo or getting hit by a bat. But luckily nothing happened. Alright, the next 2 stages are pretty much the only 2 scary stages in the game for me. 5-Tower is the first stage, which I'm going to skip, or at least speed up with a propeller. And it's very easy to lose it there, at least for me. Hopefully it won't. We'll see. But, so the propeller just allows you to go up very fast. This is a vertical level. Helps a lot. Was practicing
really good for most vertical climbing levels.
Oh god, I do not want to pick that up. God. Okay. I might have to wait an extra cycle. Yeah. Damn. That was really, really terrible on my part. At this point, it's not worth going back and getting another propeller. Pick this up. So I could have skipped the next level if I would have kept it. No 5-4 skip. Waste about like... I think losing the propeller here wastes about, say, one of these 3 minutes probably. Maybe a bit less than 3.
Yeah, that's the punishment for not keeping the propeller suit for 5-4, because otherwise, well, I guess we can talk about it when we get to 5-4.
Yep. Alright, so this is Iggy. I have died to this boss a couple of times before, which is super embarrassing, because this boss is just a set pattern. Like, it's the same pattern every time. So, there's really no reason that you should ever die to Iggy. Well, stuff happens. Alright. So there is a trick in this stage, which is called 556. It refers to the in-game timer when entering the boss door. You can enter the boss door with a 556 on the in-game timer, but it's stupidly difficult. I think like 2 or 3 people only have done it in an RTA ever, so that shows you how tough it is. And there's a lot of good runners for this. It's not like the potential isn't there. But the trick is stupidly difficult. Your movement has to be so precisely good. Okay, so normally I would save here, but no need to, because I'm not doing the skip. So 5-4 has this really dumb boat you have to ride. And the stupid thing about this boat is it stops when there's 5 or more entities on the boat. And with entities, I mean not only enemies, but also coins. Coins also count. So the strategy for doing... That's true. So basically the strategy is to not get the fire flower ever, because coins still count, but getting the ice flower is pretty nice, since you can just freeze all of the Koopas. And they won't leave any coins. So if I would have the propeller here, you can see there are all these question mark blocks later up. There is a way to skip all of this with some precise use of the propeller. Like I said, I can't do it unfortunately, since I lost it in the tower. So if I do the stage optimally, that means if the boat never stops, the 5-4 skip should save me about like 130 or something. But it's pretty much impossible to do it without it stopping at least once. With all these tiny Goombas, they all count as one entity. And it's just terrible together. That's pretty sad. Showing off 5-4 skip would have been interesting for sure. But oh well.
Yeah, it's a very brutal trick to utilize in this category. I believe this level is also really painful in 100%.
Yep. So there is a way to do the 5-4 skip for 100%, but it's way harder because you have to collect all the star coins, which you don't do automatically. Like in some any percent levels, you just almost automatically get the star coins, such as 8-7. They're just like on the way. But in this stage, it's really tough to get it when doing the 5-4 skip. But oh well, that's fine. Not having the propeller also makes this next stage go a bit slower. But after that, from there on out, it'll be the same again. In 8-1, I would have lost the propeller regardless for a damage boost. Doesn't matter after that.
So we probably didn't explain this in New Super Luigi U, but it's faster to knock at the very top of the flagpole, because otherwise the flag comes down before Mario does, so it wastes a few frames.
Well, in this game, it's actually, like, it doesn't matter at all, since...
Oh, it doesn't?
No, the flag just goes to the bottom no matter what in this game. And you also get this little, like, score popping up right next to the flag, which also goes up to the top. So in this game, it, like, doesn't matter at all where you get the flag. Which is pretty good for once, because you can, like, pretty much goof around and do whatever you want, and it doesn't matter. So yeah, all of this right here with the moving blocks and stuff, I could have skipped with the propeller again. But I have to write that. There's also another trick that I won't do, which is called Boo Ring Jump. Self-explanatory. You can jump through the boos earlier than I did. There's 2 sorts. You can take the very early cycle Boo Ring Jump, which jumps through like the earliest little hole you can jump through. But it's very precise. And then there's the medium Boo Ring Jump, which jumps through one later cycle. There's what I did, which jumps through the very big hole. Which is the intended way to do that. Alright, toughest level in the game only requires 1 single jump. Good thing I got that. This should still be like sub 15, which is not like the worst marathon run I've had. So there's that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good World 5, aside from not doing 5-4 skip.
Alright, 8-1 is everyone's favorite level. It's the only level that has random elements in it. So these falling rocks here are pretty much on a cycle. There's a cycle when they spawn and when they don't spawn. You can see that the cycle will start soonish again when the volcano erupts. There you go. So the volcano erupting means that new cycle starts. But where the rocks appear and whether it'll be a big or a small rock is pretty much random. It's uncontrollable. And well, let's just say there's some patterns that are unavoidable, especially when you're small like I am right now.
If he wasn't small, he could do a few damage boosts to get through some parts quicker.
So here in the second part, normally I would have the propeller here, so I wouldn't need to get the fire flower, but since I don't have it, I'll get the fire flower to do these damage boosts here. And this is where it really doesn't matter anymore that I lost the propeller, since I would have lost it here anyway, to go through these lava pillars. And I almost died there. That was way closer than I had to. Good. So for reference, the last marathon run I did get the 5-4 skip second try. And I died twice. I didn't die, at least. I missed the 5-4 skip entirely. Good stack. So I'm intentionally not going to use a mushroom earlier for this stage, because it's actually faster to do being small only. There's some more rocks right here, which can kill you if they want to. That one, if I would have done a huge triple jump there, that probably would have killed me. I think it didn't. And just run under that Goomba. And this will also be the last stage to include a star in it. But like I said, I'm intentionally skipping this flag because the level is faster if I'm small Mario, which I'll go on later. Why? There's the star. Now I want to get the secret exit here, and this is the reason to stay small. Since the secret exit has these conveyor belts, and it's faster for me to jump and do little spin jumps in the air. And it just so works out that if you're small Mario, these little spins will get you just a tiny bit further. So that's why it's faster too. It just works out to be like slightly faster. Alright. So next up is my favorite level casually, which is 8-7. It's really boring because it's an auto-scroller. So nothing really to talk about. Just gonna pick up this mushroom right here at the start, just in case I run into any lava pits. Hopefully I won't, but just in case I do.
You're also going to see that getting the 8-2 secret exit skips happen to do a bunch of levels in World 8.
Yeah, the 8-2 secret exit is by far the best one in the entire game in terms of like level skips for the world. I think it skips like 4 regular levels, or like 3, and then that mid tower too. So,
yeah, and those levels are pretty painful to do.
Yeah, they're awful. It's just so good that that secret exit is there. And then after this, it's just going to be 2 more stages. That's it. I can already start talking about the next stage, which is 8-A, so the airship. And it's definitely my favorite stage in the entire game, because it's very technical. It has 4 little skips in it, with the helicopter. Hopefully I'll be able to show off all 4. The first 3 are fairly easy to do. The 4th one is a bit harder, but hopefully I can get it. That wall jump. That's okay. So I want to keep the helicopter through the entirety of the airship, and I also want to keep it through the entirety of the Bowser's Castle. Since, just like in the new Super Luigi U run, having the power-up for the Bowser fight pretty much skips the entire fight. So it's always a good thing. And keeping it through the Bowser's Castle is not that hard. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep it through airship. I might just not go for the 4 skip, honestly, if I just to
Telestream also makes a return in Mario and Luigi Bros. U, but it's not very useful in those games, unfortunately.
Alright, so this introduces these little spinning nuts, I guess. And here's the next propeller. If I lose it early on, I can, there are 2 backups which I can get. But after that, like, at the stages where it really matters, there are no more. There was pretty much the last one I could have gotten, was right there. But after this point, there are no more to get. A fun fact, actually, in multiplayer, you can catch an early cycle for this pipe if the second player actually tosses the first player to there. It's a really fun strat. You should really watch like a multiplayer run of this. See that? That's the first skip, which is by far the easiest. This is the second one, which is a bit harder. And then the third one is free, and I'm gonna skip on the 4th one because I just don't want to lose the propeller, honestly. This is the 3rd one, just stuck there, and then this. And now the 4th skip would be to skip spinning here, and just duck jumping really precisely. Then helicoptering to that platform, but yeah. Alright. So the Bowser Jr. fight, I don't even know when it was, but I think Jigs was it that discovered that for the first, like, 1 or 2 phases here, if you just stand right under him, he'll actually spit out his fireballs much quicker for some reason. We don't know why, but it just happens to faster. Here's... That was... Alright, I pretty much lost it in the, like, worst way possible. What I was trying to do there was lure the fireball into the wall. So that it gets, like... The fireball can get stuck in the wall. And then not hit the ground, which doesn't cause a flame to appear. And it's, like, slightly better to do that. But that was a trash fight. But it's fine. Like, I'm known for being terrible at that fight.
That was a really good airship, otherwise.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's on to the final Bowser stage.
Final stage is my favorite to watch in a speedrun.
Yeah, the ending is, like, super clutch. It's also the point where I die the most, probably, in marathon runs especially. Hopefully I won't.
You're doing so good. You're doing really good so far. You haven't died once, I think. So that's.
Hopefully, I can keep it.
Yeah.
I'm just using this mushroom for safety, pretty much. It's not really needed. I don't plan on getting hit or damage boosting here. But better be safe than sorry. Alright, so that was part 1. Part 2 is just another auto-scroller. More boring stuff.
There's actually a really small time saver in the in that auto-scroll section, but I think it's really risky.
Yeah, there's a pretty cool strat you can do in this section with the propeller. You could pretty much just not move at all. And right as you come out of the pipe, just keep spinning the entire time, and you'll like almost perfectly make it to the pipe. So it just makes it a lot safer. Obviously, if I like brain fart here or something, I could not jump off one of these platforms or hit the lava or whatever. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Play it like extremely safe. And I'll just get this fire flower since I already play like super safe, so not. Alright, this is final hallway here. These fireballs are random as far as the pattern is concerned. There's like that was a really easy pattern. There are 4 more difficult ones. That was 2 really easy ones. So the term like fireballs cost me WR have been some classic terms in the community. So Bowser will never jump with his first attack. He will always spit a fireball, but then turn 2 onward he has the chance to jump. Being a real jerk. So if I would have the propeller, I could just like jump over him and hit the switch. This run's also bad now, by the way, since I missed switch jump. So everyone in the community watching will be pretty sad now. Don't mind the timer.
Yeah, they stopped the timer, but for a small second.
Yeah, this is like the last part of the game here. Bowser escape.
Yeah, we're coming up to the final sequence, and there's gonna be a huge switch, and that's when time will end.
Yep. I'm like, when I grab the last helicopter, I'm gonna just stay quiet pretty much since I need the quiet time. But yeah, timing ends when I hit the really big switch at the end. It's really not missable.
This part right here can be a little.
Yeah, there is better manipulations for these fireballs than what I'm doing, but stuff. Alright, so the final part here. Oh god, I missed the helicopter, fuck.
Basically everything that he's doing is to manipulate Bowser's fireballs to break parts of the wall where it's faster.
That was really awkward. Oh god, I'm screwed up here.
Uh-oh.
Those 2 fireballs that wouldn't go out of my way really messed me up right there for some reason. Because those never are there pretty much when I do this.
In this last part right here, he has to be really careful. Bowser creates these lava waves, and he has to not get hit by any of those, otherwise he dies, and has to do the...
Alright, time's coming up. And... time. Alright. So that escape was horrible. That was like super fucking slow. But those fireballs really screwed me up.
What was the time?
What was the final time?
2933.
Yeah, cool. That's actually not too bad for missing 5-4 and 5T.
Yeah, that was a really good time.
Deathless, at least. Right.
All right. GG, thank you very much for that run.
So should I just skip the credits and do the glitch exhibition right after? I guess.
Yeah, you can go straight into the glitch exhibition, I think.
Normally, like, it's a strict rule in the community that every good run has to get exactly 69 coins in the final minigame, but can't show it off, unfortunately. But there's a minigame in which you can destroy some coins and stuff. Destroy some blocks to get. Alright, anyway, so you guys donated for it, so here it is. Just right off the bat, this is more like a fun things in the game exhibition than a glitch exhibition. But that's mostly because this game doesn't have a lot of glitches. But I can still show some. Alright, so when I go back to 1-3, this is the level earlier where I skipped Yoshi. But there's actually a pretty cool trick you can do with Yoshi in this game that I want to show. Doesn't matter if you lose power-ups. So, as usual in every Super Mario game that includes Yoshi, Yoshi has this flutter, and it's super slow. Like, you can run off this platform with running speed, but the flutter will be super slow, as you can see. Like, I can barely even make this gap if I jump over it. But there's a trick I can do in where, while I do the flutter, I just let go of the direction on the D-pad. So I keep holding the 2 button, but I let go of the D-pad. For some reason, it just makes Yoshi's flutter go much faster. So I start the flutter and then I let go of my directional pad. You will keep fluttering in that direction, but it's just hell of a lot faster for some reason. So that's some neat like trick to show off. This is like super cool in casual playthrough, because it's really useful if you do stuff with Yoshi. There's that. Next is 1-. Luckily, this is not part of the speedrun anymore, so I don't have to go too fast. This is definitely one of my most hated levels in the entire game. I don't know why, I just hate it. But I need to get to the very end of the stage. So, don't mind me if this is not going fast. Okay, so here are these like spinning or rotating blocks, and these things have very weird collision. So I can just run off this thing and keep holding left, and I can pretty much run here forever. So it looks like I'm gonna like fall off, but I'm actually not, like never going to. As long as I keep holding left, I'm not gonna fall off. These blocks just have very weird collision for some reason. And what I can also do is, I can show this off. It's not cooperating here. I do it here. Yeah, there you go. So if you fly into these blocks from below, I don't know if you could see it very well, but these blocks have no collision from below. So for like half a second or so, Mario just clips into the block and then goes back out the top. Because these things have no collision from the bottom. So I can fly into these from below and nothing will happen, and I just get pushed back out the top. There you go. So like for half a second I get clipped into the block. But that was pretty good. And this is like super dumb, since if you have the propeller you can pretty much not die here in these pits. Because you can just fly through the blocks. And it's really stupid. I don't know why they didn't have collision. Okay, so next is in 6.2. This one's pretty fun. So I need an ice. This is more of an actual glitch, probably. Again, luckily this is not a speedrun anymore, because also one of my most hated levels. But I don't have to go fast. Need to get to a certain point in the level. Got to do with these spinies here. Ugh. I can get enough flour here. Can. I'll just wait for all of these to come down. I really don't want to lose this flower. Okay, so what I can do is, with this spiny right there, if he's in a good spot, I can go ahead and freeze him onto those blocks. And if I break those blocks, the spiny will just keep walking in his position where he is. Because the game doesn't intend, like, for him to lose those blocks. Because normally if you would ground pound the blocks, the spiny would just go down with the blocks. But since he was frozen, it can't happen. So, keep walking on forever, unless you trigger him like that. Also, the spiny will gain height, like, really slowly. You can really see that right there. But the spiny does gain a little bit of height. So if you wait for, like, 10 minutes or so, he will just go off screen. Because walls don't count for him anymore. Have any clue. So there's that. You can make the spiny go off the map if you just wait long enough, but that would definitely cut the estimate for this. But you can try it out in your own copy of the game. Alright, and saving the best for last. This is also by far the most useful glitch in this game. And it's not that hard to do. So Fortish Castle. Hopefully I won't lose the ice flower. I would want to keep that. Alright, so once I'm at this point right here, what I want to do is I want to freeze the Koopa and then turn this mesh here. So I have 4 tries with these 4 Koopas I can do. Get it right there. Oh, that was too late. Alright, one more try. Goddamn. If I fail this, I'll just have to reload the level, since I need to do it with one of these 4 Koopas. Put the ice ball there. Alright, there you go. So for some reason, if you do that, the game yells infinite coins. And this is infinite coins for sure. Like, you can keep doing this forever and ever. It won't stop. And, like, I'm standing right at the, like, where the coins spawn. So the game is at a good frame rate right now. But once I move past this, and the game loads a few coins, there's just way too many entities on screen for the game to load. So this, like, if you want to play the game at, like, 1 FPS, here you go. How you do it. But once you get all the coins off screen, the game goes back to its normal frame rate. But yeah, that's pretty much infinite coins. I'm actually not sure if it works in any other place. I don't think it does. But this is just a very easy way to do it. Just freeze the Koopa on this burning mesh thing, and then you're good to go. There you go. Really easy. But yeah, that's it pretty much for the glitch exhibition. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope you all enjoyed the run.
All right, awesome stuff. Thank you so much for showing us all that.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. That was New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and coming up next, we will have Supersonic playing Super Mario Bros., the original NES Super Mario Bros. Warpless for us.
Definitely stay tuned.